How's it going, everybody? Today's video is going to be a little different than what I intended to use this channel for. Mostly I wanted to do kind of outdoor bushcraft style videos, maybe some knife reviews real quick. Got the Joker Ember. Probably going to be the first knife that I do a review on. But anyways, so today what I'm going to be doing instead of things like that is a DIY egg incubator. I'm going to use an old cooler that I just have lying around, and then I'm going to use some other household items that I have around here. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I'm definitely going to give it a try. So let's go ahead and get to it. So the cooler that we're going to be using is this Igloo cooler that I have. I actually originally bought it to make an incubator, but I kind of put everything together and then just completely took it apart. I didn't even plug it in to see if it would work or anything like that. But I'm going to go ahead and get this thing cleaned up and we'll go from there. So I have the outside cleaned off relatively well. I'm not going to get it perfect just because it doesn't have to be. But the inside, I do want to get it as clean as possible. So as you can see, it's pretty gross in there. It's disgusting. We've been storing things in it in the basement and definitely got a little yucky. So let's make sure we get this cleaned out really well. So I was looking at incubators online, actually. I need a few more chickens. We had a fox get into some this past year, and the year before we had a raccoon and a cat get into some. But I kind of reinforced the coop a little better and haven't had any predator issues since this last year. But I'm wanting more chicks, but I don't want to pay the crazy price to buy chicks. And we do have a rooster. He's a silky rooster. So I figured we'll just go ahead and try to hatch our own. I also looked at hatching eggs on the internet, and I contacted a few people local that have hatching eggs, but they're just completely overpriced right now. From what I've heard, eggs are $7 or $8 for a store brand for a dozen right now, which is crazy to me. And somebody told me they're even breaking down 6 packs of eggs, and they're selling 6 or a half dozen for like $4 or $5 right now. So I don't really know. We haven't bought too many eggs over the last few years, but I'm gonna get some more chickens and get our egg production up here so we can hopefully not have to buy any eggs anytime soon. And also our hens that we do have, they're kind of getting a little bit older, so before they slow down, I want to get them replaced. Hopefully, if this works, like I said, I've looked at the Little Giant Deluxe, I've looked at some of the Amazon ones, and I figured, hey, if I can make one for free with the things that I already have lying around and get a few eggs hatched, then I'm gonna go ahead and do that instead of spending 100, 150, 200 bucks on an incubator. So while this is still not perfect, it is a ton better. This stuff right here is just sticky residue from some duct tape that we had in there. And I also forgot to mention that if you have a cheap foam cooler and want to try this, you could probably use that. And the next thing we're gonna do is put in these aquarium dividers that I purchased on, I think, eBay or Amazon. I don't know how many I can fit in here. I think there's 4 of these, but just to get the eggs up off the bottom of the cooler. You'll never believe it, but these almost fit perfectly. The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get some aluminum foil tape, HVAC style tape, and a few of these reptile / seed starter heat pads. You can also use heat tape or whatever you think you should use. I'm not going to give you any advice, I'm just telling you what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and get these in here. Put one on this side, one on this side, and then probably a smaller one on this side over here. I'll go ahead and get the rest of these taped in, and then I'll see you on the next step. Alright, now we have all the cords and all 3 heaters. I didn't mention there's a little notch cut out there and there's a piece of tape over it just so the cords don't get all pinched and scrunched up and everything. The next step is going to be the easiest step. Is you're gonna need a thermometer, hygrometer combo. You can get these pretty much anywhere you go to. But I'm just gonna go ahead and stick that right in there. And the next step is a jump starter. You need something to control the temperature. You can buy these on Amazon. So what you do is you plug your heat mats into here. You can also buy them at the pet store. You plug your heat mats into here, and then this end goes into the wall, and then the probe goes inside and measures the temperature. So what happens is, whenever they're heating up, whenever this says that it's too cool in there, it's gonna kick these on and it's gonna heat them up. And whenever they get to the desired temperature, it kicks them off. So it's not super controlled, but it definitely keeps it right around where you want it. And hopefully it's good enough to hatch some eggs out. So we'll see. This is an important step, so don't try to do this without one of these. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this all plugged in and everything, and then I'm gonna see if I can achieve the desired temperature. And then after that, I'll see if I can get a good humidity range. So I went through the drain hole and under the aquarium dividers with the probe, and it's just kind of floating up in the air there about top of the egg height. Set it to 105. It's currently at 76.8, and you can see it's heating right there. That let us shut off whenever it's done heating. So I'll come check on it in about an hour or so, and we'll see how we're doing. All right, we're just over an hour and at 99.5, which is a decent temperature for hatching. All right, I'm gonna open this and look at the thermometer, hydrometer as quickly as I can. So it is very warm in here too, by the way. 25% humidity. Obviously, we need to raise our humidity. Let's go ahead and try a shallow bowl of water. So it's been a couple hours now. We're at 99.8 on the temperature. And let's go ahead and check the humidity. I added a little paper towel in there too on the side that's damp, so it could just raise the humidity a little quicker. So let's go ahead and pop this open real quick and see what we got. 102 degrees Fahrenheit, 61% humidity. So the temperature is a little high. I'm gonna dial it down. With humidity, as you can see, 61. Oh, just dropped because I took it out. But 61 and 102. Bring the temperature down right to 100, and I think that'll do it. I'm gonna go ahead and make a series on this, and the next video will be titled something like hatching eggs in the DIY incubator or something like that. And then we'll just go ahead and go through the whole process of hatching some eggs, hopefully. And we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.